Begin.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the City of Kingston Historic Landmark Preservation Commission meeting. My name is Suzanne Cahill. I'm the Planning Director for the City of Kingston. Today is March 6, 2025. I just have a few quick announcements before we open the meeting. If you do have your cell phone, I just ask that you please put that on silent so it doesn't interfere with the meeting discussion or recording. We are recording this meeting and it is also on live stream, so I just want everybody to be aware of that. If you do have to have a conversation outside of that you're having with the commission members, we just ask that you take it outside of the room. The chambers are available, or there is another conference room on the opposite side of the chambers. If you need a restroom, you go out through the chamber on the opposite side of the building. Men's would be to the left, women's to the right. If we have an emergency, we just ask that you please use the stairs. If you need assistance, or you not use the stairs and not the elevator. And if you need assistance, we'll help you with that. All that said, I'm going to open the meeting at 6:34. And I'm going to turn it over to Mark Rumblatt, who's the chairperson, to introduce the other members who are present.
Hi, I'm Mark Grunblatt. I chair Historic Landmarks Preservation Commission. I'm going to ask each of our members present tonight to introduce themselves. I'll start with our newest member.
Eric Winchell, Commissioner.
Robert Summer, Commissioner.
Andrea Putes, I'm architect of the commission.
And I'm Kevin McAvoy, Commissioner.
And also,
I'm Ethan Dickerman. I'm the Historic Preservation Administrator.
all right. Our first order of business is adoption of the minutes of our February meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
So moved, Robert.
Thank you, Robert. Do we
Second, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Eric?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
Andrea?
Hi.
Kevin?
Aye.
I also vote yes. All right, first new business, 27 West Chestnut Street. Do we have someone here on that? Hi there. Come have a seat and give us a quick overview of the plan here.
Hi, my name is David Smilo. I am the petitioner for 27 West Chestnut Street. This is the property that I own and inhabit. The action before the committee today is to remove this door and replace it with a window in the character of the windows on the same side of this building. It's the northeastern side of the building.
Okay, so the curve will remain.
Correct.
And you're just kind of bricking up from the bottom so it's on a similar line.
That is correct. Right. We've recovered a sill, a stone sill that we can cut to have it fit that opening, the aperture there.
So that was left behind.
The building, I mean, it's a complicated building. This building is it's a lifetime. It'll be a lifetime worth of work. This bump out building here is a separate building that was added on in the 1890s in the same character as the original building from the 1870s. Inside the building were original windows that we removed, and we will fit with modern glass, privacy glass, and they're curved so that they'll fit the archway.
Well,
So the reason you're doing this, you're doing an internal renovation, and that internal space would be used for
this space will become a bathroom.
Okay.
The plans are, I don't know if all of it, but would you like to see those plans also? It's not necessary if you'd like to.
Not really, we're most interested in the exterior.
outside, right. Yeah, I've been before this committee before.
Okay.
So, the application says that you're getting the brick from within the structure?
That's correct.
So where exactly is it coming from? Inside is the same exact exterior brick because there was the addition? Is that why?
That's correct, yeah,
Okay.
we have a lot of
Okay.
the same and earlier. So this addition here is 1890s, we took some of the 1870s brick out, but certainly enough to do the work, and we'll do it with the original, we'll do it with lime mortar and, as close to original as possible.
You think you'll leave the step there, the bluestone?
We
There or-
may, we'll see how difficult it is. We'd also like to take up all this driveway at a certain point, so we'll see if that falls under the plans.
Any questions from commission members?
The other question we had was that in the, obviously you have shutters, but in the drawing that was submitted showing the window replacement, the shutters are not included in that drawing. So I was just curious if the shutters you're not planning to remove all the shutters, correct?
No.
Okay.
At a certain point, we'd love to replace as many of the shutters as possible.
Replace or restore?
Restore. We have some, you can see that there are some on the ground here. We'll do our best to, for sure, keep everything that is there and replace, if we have to replace in kind.
Okay.
It wasn't clear if the door that's there, the age of that, and did you have any intention of like saving that in storage?
Yeah, I think that we likely will. We've saved in the project and the details, a lot of the interior doors will be reused we'll probably change them make them into pocket doors. Inside the building, we're planning on using insulated lime plaster instead of sheetrock on the interior. So, we're going for as period correct a renovation as we can do.
And the communication between the city assessor, you and I seem to indicate that you'll be applying for the tax abatement program.
Yeah, I'd like to apply for the tax abatement program, and I will also be applying for the state, the state tax incentive plan that they have for this sort of work, which I did on our porch project, which we completed in 2023.
Presuming that this is a type 2 action under seeker,
Yes, it is.
I will entertain a motion to declare this a type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act.
Andrea?
Thank you, Andrea. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kevin. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. And here we go. I move that our commission find as fact that the proposed ground floor entryway door conversion to a window at 27 West Chestnut Street in the Chestnut Street Local, State, and National Historic District, if done according to the plans reviewed, our discussion, and according to the procedures stipulated in section 405-26L of the City of Kingston's form-based zoning code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons Pursuant to section 405.26L13A, our commission determined that the proposed project requires a certificate of appropriateness prior to issuance of a building permit, and pursuant to the same section, subsection 11, the HLPC has reviewed and determined the application and its supporting materials filed by the applicant are complete. The proposed work is to take place at the 3.5-story brick Italianate dwelling with a low-pitched roof built into a slope on the north side of West Chestnut Street at the southwest corner of the intersection of Wells Lane and West Chestnut Street, which was likely built in the early 1870s and is associated with George Hutton, the son of William Hutton, a locally prominent brick and lumber manufacturer. The owner is renovating the structure's interior and proposes to remove an existing wooden basement entryway door on the structure's northeast side, fill the opening with brick salvaged from elsewhere in the structure, raise the cell, and install a smaller 31 3/4 inch wide by 28-inch tall arched salvaged wood window with tempered glass in the smaller opening. The existing arched Italianate lintel will remain undisturbed. Salvaged brick infill must utilize historically proportioned lime-based mortar and be painted to match the facade's existing color. And the salvaged wood window shall be painted to match existing windows.
Correct, right, so it should be that red color.
Okay. The shutters must be retained in their existing places. The owner must retain in storage the original door and frame. The HLPC recognizes that the project will result in a change that can be undone in the future if so desired by a current or future owner. This certificate of appropriateness shall be used as a component of the property owner's application for the City of Kingston's 10-year graduated rehabilitation tax abatement program. Any changes or additions to the plans of work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to additional work being carried out. The commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agency. Based on the preceding findings of fact, I move that on this 6th day of March 2025, our commission grant a certificate of appropriateness to the above referenced applicant for the work as described herein and in its application to our commission, such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion and shall be valid for 1 year. Do I hear a second?
Second, Robert.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Robert?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Okay.
I'll remind you from the buildings department when the rest of the
The permit's available?
You'll get notified, you'll get this and get copied to the building department, so when you get this, you can go down there.
great.
All right, 33 North Front Street. Great. Fun. Building materials, we love it.
Hi, everybody, this evening. My name is John Perry, I'm owner of 33 North Front Street. I will pass around some of the items in which the changes will be made to. That is the standard aluminum that was there. It will be replaced the same. And this is currently what was there. It's like a false slate poly, made out of poly plastic. Pass this around and then we can start the discussion. So we know what we're talking about.
All right. If you would give a quick overview of the plan here. This is after you got run to by somebody swinging.
Yeah, we had a joyride at about 3:45 in the morning. This turn, so they decided to go straight instead. So actually, some of the changes are due to the safety features, in which one being that, and also some of the uptown communities that are in past have had multiple windows broken due to vandalizing, fights, things of that nature. So one of the changes that I was requesting was, if you look, this is actually the other part of my building, but it's fairly similar. this is what was there. This height was 16 inches and it does extend over through here. This big slate, which is what's here, was what was all down through here. I did not have that texture 9/11. So the idea is to take the knee wall from 16 to 32, extend it that much bigger to provide more security and safety. God forbid there's another car that wants to come through my structure, my building. And then we would do recessed paneling in order to provide a more cleaner, neater look to it. The plastic you'll see here, that would be used both. So you'd see that the full panels would be made of that, and then of course the box outs also would be made of that. And I'm planning on keeping it black. It was black, I'm keeping it black, so I didn't bring any color swatches because it's black. So that's kind of the idea. So black aluminum. The only change with the windows is there was 2 windows here. There was a seam here, and my idea was to centralize a window for retail, for advertising, things of that nature. And then I also threw in the trances to match the front door. So those are the only changes are the trances and 3 windows with 1 larger center. Other than that, it's pretty much, trying to keep it as much minimal changes as possible.
The door will remain aluminum.
Yeah, so the door is the exact door is being replaced. This was broken and some other things were done to it, which is it's still functional. But once approvals happen, then I can go ahead and I'm going to replace all that since insurance is paying for it. So I'll have brand new doors, but they'll be the exact same door with the aluminum that you see there.
Do you have a manufacturer of the door or not?
I have 2. One is from Newburgh and one is from Dutchess County. I think we're going with the Newburgh. They're a little cheaper. So, but both with the same quality of aluminum. It's based on. So eventually, I'll be coming back in front of you because once the pike is taken down, the idea is to have the recessed paneling and then match up here. So then I can do my advertising and stuff. My plan is not to do any advertising in the window until the pike plane's taken down. And then once the pike's taken down, maybe we do some modifications at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then I do have a request at the end, but I'll bring it to the end. But I would like to take all the aluminum down. I would like to restore all this. I have been approved for grants before. There was a whole bunch of things that went down with the pike plan where there was investigations and stuff that were being done. So the grant monies were lapsed in time, so they were no longer available. Once the investigations were done, Sue will remember, probably remember. But that eventually would all open up and we would then address that.
That's a beautiful grade.
Yeah, it's pretty
Are
cool.
those 4 window openings? I assume they're in the same openings that we see in the picture here.
Correct. Unfortunately, what they've done is they've taken this size and they just boxed in, so
Yeah.
that same size is there. So it looks like 4 of the
As
same.
far as we know, nothing's been damaged. We don't know for sure, but it's beautiful.
There is aluminum siding behind it,
Yeah.
kind of, keeping it restored that way, but what they did,
Is that considered part of the pipe plan or was that London's project
London's.
to
I
cover those 3?
have no
the
idea.
pipe plan goes over, just abut to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the building structure inventory form talks about it being the company that was in there in circa 1970 doing
That was
that.
London's, they had all 3 buildings.
So I think the facade of your building kind of like goes up even higher than that 2nd story.
So there was 2. If you see here, this piece here, so yeah, I don't know what they did here. Before that, it was some type of mirrored glass.
Okay.
So there's been over the years different just transformations of it, but we'll see what's behind the pipe when it comes down. So it's.
And is this one of the buildings that goes down another 2-3 stories?
Yes, I go down to the municipal parking lot in the back.
That's what I thought.
Do we know what's in that medallion?
We'll find out.
Pretty cool.
Hopefully. Yeah, so
Stay
that's-
tuned.
Yeah, exactly. So, which brings me to the request. So, what I would request that you all do is to put in a letter of endorsement for the uptown community, for the city to put more monies and allocate more monies into facade grants. Because once the pipe does come down, I'm not multi-millionaire, and I would like to be able to do this work, and I cannot do it without some sort of help and assistance. So an endorsed letter from y'all, hopefully by April, next meeting, potentially would be a great tool to help the mayor put some extra monies into some grant fundings.
I'm trying to remember who administered the Main Street grants that we used maybe 15 years ago. Is that the state or federal program? I can't remember. Repco did that. Yeah. I wonder
They administered it, I believe the city received the funds and Rockville was the administration for it, for each building.
Even just a letter would mean a lot, you know, to the mayor, maybe make some moves.
Yeah, because I'm thinking some of that funding is still probably out there.
I know, detecting denied, and multiple painting grants were granted, and I don't think they did I think maybe two, I don't know, how many projects actually went through with that? Maybe
No, they
three.
did quite a few.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a series on Broadway.
There was a
No, I'm talking about just specifically at town.
the DRI funds.
No, there was,
Or
I think it was ARPA money.
there was a
actually.
more recent grant that was done for all of them, and all of them,
Beginning
multiple
of
properties got
23,
that. It
beginning of
wasn't
24.
focused on the
Yeah.
pike though.
No, this was just restoring above the pipe. So I know they took a lot of buildings that were needed painting and some, you know, some window and treatments and stuff like that, but anyway, it would be great to see that, those funds maybe assist us in doing this job as well.
Aside from that, would a project like that not qualify for the 10-year tax abatement program?
Well, the tax abatement only is valid if you increase assessed value. So that would be a question for the assessor. If the assessed value is increased, then that tax abatement program is something
There's
that
visual
we qualify for.
aesthetics there.
But so whether that side change increases the value is a question for the assessor. Because typically a paint job doesn't necessarily increase the assessment value.
No, but if you're changing materials to something new.
Yeah, I mean, but that's something he would have to look at. I honestly.
And it would only, the abatement only applies to the increase in value.
Correct.
So it's not a
Right.
huge number. All right.
Don't tax me on my building.
Yeah, but no, honestly, I had no idea what was hiding under all of that.
Well, yes.
I do remember London's, but I had forgotten the actual facade. I'm so
I
used-
remember London.
Well, my Cub Scout uniform.
My building had all the uniforms down.
Yeah.
I took all those cabinets and shelving out. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It is
I think
such
it's gonna
a
look, street will look dramatically better than that stand, my God.
yeah,
Especially with the aluminum.
yeah.
So,
That will be a pleasure, but that is in the future. All right, I'm presuming we have a type 2 action.
Yes.
I do have one quick comment, actually. I would make a suggestion under the sill of the window and above the paneling, add in some kind of a drip sill, just to beef that up just a hair.
sure.
So you wouldn't have that transition between window and panels.
So actually it bikes down a little bit.
So yeah, like whatever this material is,
Yeah.
I'm sure it comes in different dimensions. You could have
Thickness and
something
everything.
milled to make some kind of a drip edge. And wrap it in towards the door. I think that's what you have there on the left. is
So on
section.
the lower, on the.
So I'll point to it, so it's
Okay,
clear.
so I can add it in here.
So a drip sill essentially
Right.
Right along that
following
darker
that
line.
line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this would shift down a little bit to accommodate that. It's maybe
Sure.
an inch and a half in thickness.
Right. And you would like me to keep it that same type of material, not a metal?
That's fine. I would have something milled,
Okay.
out of the similar material.
Okay.
If,
Okay.
you know, not knowing exactly what it is, but I know they probably have something.
AZAC, I think they call it?
Probably AZAC, yeah. There's another material, not saying you have to use this, just
Right.
as a suggestion, whoever your contractor is, unless you're doing it yourself too. There's another material that we've used a lot of that works, and it works exactly the same as wood. It's called True Exterior Trim. I think it's by Royal Building Products. And that's the only other thing is you have to paint it. This is obviously, you don't need to paint,
Right.
but Something to look at. Williams has it
Okay,
too, and it comes in a lot of different dimensions, and it's very versatile like wood.
thank you.
I do have one question, John. Did you think of any other colors? I mean, was that never
Not for this project. I believe once we get the aluminum down, we see what's behind it and we want to enhance color, I would definitely go back and change all the box outs. I think I would keep it black, but then I would potentially change the box outs, but I would probably go, try to keep it as much black as possible.
I don't know, you have that beautiful burgundy color that you use.
I know, but
Yeah, that would be, but,
yeah, and then if I needed to, if it was black, I could just use, go with the white lettering, I would do a raised lettering off of the panel, that type of thing. But, that's for you guys to decide, and me to start imagining.
I'm trying to picture what you're asking for.
well, he's painting it all black, which I think would be very striking and nice. I think that this dark burgundy that he uses is, he uses it graphically and it's like t-shirts and sneakers. It's
My
just-
logo
it's
is-
great dark burgundy.
Kingston colors.
Yeah.
Burgundy.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking, but right now, just to keep it as minimal as possible,
Yep.
just to get it going. You know, just come back and request. Whenever
To that point exactly then, this stuff is hard to paint.
I won't paint that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I would leave the panel, but then I would take all the box out.
Yep.
At that point, I would go maroon, white, whatever we decide.
All right, tiger colors. Okay, any further questions? I will entertain a motion that we declare that the type 2 action under seeker. Thank you, Eric. And a second,
Andrea.
Andrea gets the second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Andrea?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Eric? Robert? I also vote yes. Okay, here we go. I move that our commission find as fact that the proposed shopfront rehabilitation at 33 North Front Street in the Kingston Stockade local, state, and national historic district, if done according to the plans reviewed in our discussion tonight, and according to the procedures stipulated in section 405-26L of the City of Kingston's form-based zoning code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons. Pursuant to subsection 13A, our commission has determined that the proposed project requires a certificate of appropriateness prior to the issuance of a building permit. Pursuant to subsection 11, our commission has reviewed and determined the application and supporting materials filed by the applicant are complete. The proposed work is to take place at the 3-story, actually, this is a 5-story.
Well, it's 2 stories above ground. Then it's
2 or 3.
4 stories total.
Okay, we'll go with the 4-story row building located on the north side of North Front Street, 2 parcels west of the intersection of Wall and North Front Streets, dating to the late 19th century, which previously housed a tailor in 1915, a salon in 1930, wearing clothing, the Artistic Shop and Daniel's Shoes in 1940, and London Center Junior Bazaar Clothing from 1950. Giving rise to Cub Scout uniforms.
Nurses, Cub Scouts.
It is understood that the structure's existing 2nd and 3rd-story facade is a late addition from circa 1970 that homogenized and unified 33 North Front Street with neighboring structures to the east and west. The existing storefront was severely damaged in November 2024 by a vehicle and must be reconstructed to meet code requirements. The owner proposes to reconstruct the shop front according to the submitted elevation drawing by Frank Wellington Dunn, RA. The owner shall add a drip edge of the same panel material below the new windows. The proposed windows shall be made will be made in the same style, but 3-bay, made of glass. The proposed door shall be made in the same style of aluminum and glass. Proposed windowsill shall be 2 feet 8 inches in height, which comply with section 405-14D, that the proposed display and transom windows comply with the 8-foot window height requirements in section 405.14.2, that proposed door complies with section 405.14D6. Any changes or additions to the plans or work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to the work being carried out. Our commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the preceding findings of fact, I move that on the 6th day of March 2025, our commission grant a certificate of appropriateness to the above referenced applicant for the work as described herein, and in his application to the commission, such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion and shall be valid for 1 year. Do I hear a second?
Second, Robert.
Thank you, Robert. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Robert?
Aye.
Andrea?
Yeah, aye.
Kevin? Eric?
Aye.
I also vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to whom would you be asking us to address such a letter? To the grant office, to the mayor? What do you think?
I think it should be to the mayor. Yeah. Because I think, I'm gonna be calling and requesting that he put aside some funds as well. I think anything specifically historical, coming from this committee would be huge.
So are you looking for an addition to what, because they are
Yes.
looking at putting funding aside for restoration?
So I'm pretty aware that they're just gonna weatherize the buildings. After that, it's gonna be up to the building owners to do the facade work.
Okay.
I mean, I'm preparing myself for that. It would be very nice if that was the case, but I think, grant monies should be made available, if possible, to assist us in doing the rest of the restorations that are gonna need to be done. Next, that's it.
So you're looking for,
About 60,000.
okay. Language for the commission to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something we should take up under new business at the end of the meeting tonight.
All right. Let's take some moment.
Yes, reclaim. And thank you for bringing these, that always is helpful.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, and I appreciate all this time. Thank you.
All right.
You mentioned.
Oh.
I don't know if any other building facade was modified beside those.
Yes, there is one around the corner that is largely covered over. I know that I think it's 328. It's where Mitch Spinak's law office is.
Okay.
All three of them, like his and the adjacent two, have been flat dramatically.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the windows were padded out and that they didn't chop out the blues. There's a lot of blues down there.
It looks like it probably is, but it's so hard to tell
Yeah.
from the street.
It's only one way to find out, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta remove.
But with that stuff, didn't they took the things away out?
Oh,
They
yeah, it was
just
the
framed
70s.
it and stuck up some.
Yeah,
aluminum
right,
sign.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's what they did, right?
I grew up in a town in Indiana, but they did that to the whole town. This beautiful, charming town, all brick building. They covered it all with aluminum siding, the whole place. Then, probably 10 years ago, they took it all down.
So it was preserved by the
Yeah.
Wow. Time capsule.
Yes.
Words right off my mouth.
Amazing. Well, hi, I'm guessing you're recusing yourself on this.
Yeah, I
one.
have to, yeah.
All right, the Beale Street.
Yes.
So just let the record show that Andrea is recusing
Yes.
because she is representing on behalf of Scott Dutton's Associates, the next project.
Dutton Architecture.
Dutton Architecture.
Yes, so this is 5 of Beale Street, which the commission has previously reviewed some couple of years ago, something of the sort. The ground floor now has a tenant that would like to occupy the space. And we are proposing painting the currently red brick to this beautiful white cream color, which will be very similar to the siding color, which is also currently white. And all the wood details, windows, doors will be this sort of medium cream color, tan color. We're also proposing an awning, that green awning that you see up above. It actually won't extend quite so far to the right. It'll actually stop here.
Just beyond the door.
Just beyond the door. The roof itself actually stops here. It's a little bit hard to understand what's happening because of the angle of the wall that's adjacent to this. It goes out at a fairly steep angle. But this little bit of wall that's here just goes out this direction. So the roof actually covers over to this portion, not to this portion. So this will come back just a little bit. And then we're also proposing some hand-painted signage here and here, and a light fixture here that's on the inside recess of where this door opening is. This will be the primary access door. This one's currently sealed off. These were, we believe, original doors, so that we're intending on keeping all of those. And this was approved by the National Park Service.
So that other
historic
door
status.
and the other end goes into a residential?
No residence on this
Okay.
floor. Residence is only from this floor
Okay.
up, so the entirety of the ground floor is Mercantile,
Okay.
Sabrino's Gelato. But yeah, this will be the primary entrance door into
And
the
what's the
space.
other door then gonna be used, what are the other doors used for,
We're just gonna keep these
just keep them?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
as they were.
And they open into the gelato space.
They do. What's a little strange about this space, as you can see here, is there's a floor here, but then there's a step up that gets to this floor here. So it's a split level on the inside. Well, not getting into the interior of it, we're gonna stick with the exterior, but that's why we want to keep all of the doors the way that they are.
All right, any questions from the members?
Just as an additional thing, the planning office, we referred a minor waiver also on this project to you for a recommendation. You've seen it before on other stores on Lower Broadway where the storefront has two windows on either side of the entry door, and they want to put signage on both windows. The current code only allows one window to have sign. And it's being changed, the change is proposed and going to the council now, but it is still in the code that they're only allowed one window with a sign. So they need a waiver to have window signage on both sides.
From the planning board or from us?
No, the waiver is coming actually from my office, from me,
Oh, okay.
but, because it's a minor waiver, but because it is in a historic district, I'm required to send it to you for a recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
The approximate dimension of the signage is, at least for the Sabrino's port, is roughly 40 inches in width, about 12 inches in height. This will probably be a little bit smaller, less letters. Same height, but not as wide. We will also have a building identification signage, 5 Beal, on the door.
Okay, I will entertain a motion that we declare this a type 2 action under seeker.
So moved.
Thank you, Robert. A second. Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Eric?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
I also vote yes, and no recusal. Right, I now move that our commission find this fact that the proposed painting, installation of new lighting and new signage at 5 Beale Street in the Rondout West Rand Local State and National Historic District is done according to the plans reviewed and our discussion and according to procedures stipulated in section 405-26L of the City of Kingston's form-based zoning code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons. Pursuant to subsection 13A, our commission determined that the proposed project requires a certificate of appropriateness appropriateness prior to the issuance of a building permit. Pursuant to subsection 11, we have reviewed and determined that the application and its materials filed by the applicant are complete for our review. The proposed work is to take place at the 3-bay wide and 2-story high framed vernacular addition to a circa 1850 1.5-story 5-bay frame structure on Post Street at the northwest corner of the intersection of Post and Avil Streets. The applicant plans to open Sabrino's Gelato in the Avil Street shop front and shall repaint the structure according to the submitted February 18, 2025 Dutton architecture renderings utilizing Benjamin Moore's HC 174 Lancaster whitewash for the structure's body and Benjamin Moore HC 1 Castleton mist for the structure's trim. The applicant may install a new sunbrella ginkgo. What's it colored? I'm guessing. With natural cloth awning and a powder-coated white piping structure across the Avil Street shopfront. The applicant owner must carry insurance for the projecting awning over the public right-of-way along Avil Street, naming the city of Kingston as an additional insured in accordance with section 358-9 of the city code. The applicant must secure the necessary permits from the Building Safety Division to proceed with any planned sidewalk dining, and that the applicant may install a Shell White Boss SW3G schoolhouse electric Otto 6-inch rod pendant light with a fluted globe shade behind the awning and over the shop's front entryway door. That the HLPC recommends approval of the minor waiver request under review by the planning administrator requesting a second window sign, which exceeds the number of signs presently allowed under the code. Any changes or additions to the plans or work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to the work being carried out. The commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the preceding findings of fact, I move that on the 6th day of March 2025, our commission grant a certificate of appropriateness to the above referenced applicant for the work as described herein and in its application to the commission, such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion and shall be valid for 1 year. Do I hear a second?
Second. So long. Yeah, it's really long.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'm going to call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
I also vote yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, dramatic reading.
Yeah, thank Ken for seconding.
I'm spellbound of
Yeah.
Tough to do with that kind of script, I'll tell you.
Please. Here, I have to release.
Thanks.
So there's a couple just extra things that we'd like to go over with you, so.
So yesterday I had sent out to the commission a proposed new application that should expand upon, but also break into segments, the different types of work that we commonly review. That was drafted after reviewing applications from a number of other CLG communities in the state. Much of that is actually inspired by the city of Syracuse, which we thought does a really good job. And so we wanted to share it with you and seek your feedback and seek endorsement of that application moving forward.
I thought it was very clear,
Yeah.
concise, and easy to read.
Yes, that was the main
Big
thing
thing.
that popped out at me. I thought perhaps after tonight, we want to include some kind of checkbox if they're looking for tax abatement
In there.
referrals. Did I miss that?
So per some of our reviews, it has been put to a final page where it kind of breaks down the different tax incentives that are available. So the local one, providing a link to get that going for them, as well as the homeowner, the 2 commercial rehab, and then the barn credit.
Okay, I guess I didn't see that.
Just sort of reorganize.
Yeah, all
One of the
right.
reasons we wanted to pursue a new application too is just to provide more clarity to the applicant now exactly what's going to be needed. Because what is going to be happening, is within the planning department, we've instituted new software. So on the planning board's end, it went live the other day. It's going to, the same type of software is going to be going into the HLPC program now. And we've been working, Ethan is working with me and consultants to get HLPC stuff up and running. So the applicant's going to be required to submit online. And one of the things that happens when you do that is that if you don't submit the requested information, then it doesn't accept your application. So so we want to be very clear as to what we expect a complete application is. And what, if they don't fill that in, if they don't provide that information or documentation, could be a picture of Mickey Mouse that they upload, but so be it. We review it for completeness, but it will not allow them to continue with the application. So
Does it tell them what's missing? Or does it?
it won't let them go beyond a certain point. So in other words, each section, if it's not complete, it'll tell you, that's not complete, you need this, go back and do it.
Okay.
Like the asterisk, required information here.
Right.
Do you happen to have the application handy?
To pull up?
Yeah, there was one section, I'm sorry, guys. There was one section I wanted to quickly take a look at. I think it had to do with, I don't remember what building element specifically, but it had to do with cleaning.
Okay.
And I'm a little bit hesitant to put that in. Either that or sort of maybe clarify it a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe put in some suggestions as to what that means exactly, like a la what we, always talk about, especially with one application we had with regards to cleaning.
Okay.
And what methods, not necessarily getting into the nitty gritty of specifics, but just pointing people in the right direction of like, if you're doing brick cleaning, this is a good idea to do this, maybe you don't do this. Not that you're educating people within the application, but, talking about that as a thing.
Here we go.
Yeah. Describe the proposed cleaning process. Not that it's vague, I know it's sort of intentionally vague, but I think if you have like a typical homeowner and they may not know how all that's supposed to work.
Okay.
Especially if they're the one who's filling out the application and not their contractor. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I get exactly what you're saying. I wonder if putting in, at that point, maybe putting a couple links to like Secretary of Interior standard, like for brick cleaning, you look at, refer to this, or,
Yeah.
and something like that. I mean, I don't know what's available in all of this, the SOI documents.
Yeah.
And what might be the most appropriate, or, but I hear what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Instead of the word sash, I would put windows. Sash is just talking about the operable portion of the window, but you want the whole frame to. I mean, I guess you could theoretically paint the sashes differently from the frame, but I think that's kind of a weird, I don't think I've ever seen that done. Usually it's the sash or the operable part of the window and the frame around it.
Yeah.
The other terms.
Window frame, window frame or something, okay.
Yep. I would also maybe put in like a couple of others, because there could be other elements that you may not necessarily have, where it's maybe like.
Cornice.
You mean a couple other lines for others?
Yeah, a couple of
Okay,
extra
okay.
other lines, yeah.
Okay,
Trim is a sort of a good catch-all term, but sometimes on a facade, you're gonna be breaking up different trim pieces, whether it's corner guards or whether it's cornice or brackets or beam details, column details, that kind of stuff. So that's why I suggest the other, I don't think you wanna get into every single nitty-gritty piece, because it doesn't apply to every building. building, but, you know, definitely change sash to window. Just window as a general. I think your window section was pretty good though, of the application itself.
Should it be cleaning slash removal? If you're doing lead abatement and scraping?
Yeah, certainly it's great, yeah.
That's a good point to mention the lead abatement.
Cleaning slash paint removal, something.
But again, this is their application.
This
So
is the
they- So
application.
they're gonna have to come before us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some of these things, these are questions that we would ask in person.
We would, but I mean, this would certainly help the
Yeah,
conversation.
clarify.
Certainly for Ethan, instead of having to dig information out of people, they're presenting it to him and not having to work so damn hard of figuring out what's
Let me hold
happening.
your hand and lead you through it.
Right, exactly. I won't lie though, the first time I saw this, I was a little intimidated. I was like, there's 18 pages. But then I realized that you're not filling out every section.
No, I mean, 9 out of 10 people will probably only use one of those sections. If it's a substantial rehab, like remember a couple of years ago, just out of curiosity, what coming before the commission would be like, the couple from Kentucky who are working on a pretty substantial project.
Yeah,
They may have to, or a project like that may have to use multiple sections,
Yeah.
but rarely would you get to that.
yeah. But yeah, would you mind scrolling through the window?
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, so this was very helpful. Even explaining the type of different windows. Also usually single hung, just the bottom sash usually opens. So I don't know if you want to put that in there. Just says only one sash opens, only bottom sash opens. But the rest of your descriptions here are really good. One other one I might add is a slider window.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. There was one other thing. So total number of windows in property and number of windows you propose to replace. The other thing I would add is location of the windows that are being replaced, because on a number of applications, we've had people replace the rear side of a building.
Mhm.
And not to say that we don't care about those, but we care about them less compared to a front-facing street side window. Or one that's more, more in the public view. So if somebody's saying, I'm only gonna replace the windows on the back of my structure, and I'm just gonna restore the ones on the front. Maybe.
So we do have above, though, each photograph should be numbered and keyed to a drawing of the image. So it maybe on the upper part,
Yeah. Well, theoretically, you're gonna, not everybody engages an architect, right?
right,
But yeah, if you tell an applicant, do your best, take a picture of each
right,
facade, label the facade, whether it's east, north and southwest,
right.
and whether it's front facing or.
Right, so what I'm asking is that second bullet up on top, each photograph should be numbered and keyed to a drawing or elevation or image of the side of the property where the window is located.
Yeah,
So
that probably covers it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's what I'm just asking.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I looked down at the bottom right hand
Yeah.
side and I was like, we should put where, but it's up at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fair point. Honestly, I don't know how often I've seen lead windows. Steel,
Leaded glass is pretty common.
well, glass, yes, but well, materials, not unit. Just-
17th century, right?
Yeah. Aluminum would probably, aluminum or steel. I would put aluminum / steel, maybe.
Or just metal.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, those are probably the two most common, steel and aluminum.
Yeah.
Steel or aluminum.
Lead's probably metal, isn't it? Since I took chemistry.
You're right, it is, but I don't think you have a lead framed window.
I can't imagine
I don't
that.
think I've ever seen that.
I haven't.
But leaded glass, you're right about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, stained glass.
and stained glass, yes,
Yeah.
but, I guess I'm thinking about it in terms of the window, like, the frame and the other structure involved with it.
Right.
It's not really specifically thinking about glass, because that's asking a lot for an applicant to know what glass types they have. I mean, some are pretty obvious, yes, if you can see that it's stained glass,
Yeah.
okay, got it, but, you know, are we asking every applicant to know whether they have, you know, bubble glass or, you know, argon, you know, two-pane e-fill glass?
Yeah, but I think, I don't know, I think sometimes, you know, asking them the question might give them might inspire them to actually do a little research, a little bit more research. And I think, you know, from the people that we're dealing with, I think more and more of the people that are buying and taking on these historic properties are becoming more educated about their properties, I think.
Generally, yes.
Yeah, generally,
Usually,
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have, I mean,
No,
you'll never have, yeah.
I completely agree.
You raised a great point there that wasn't addressed in this. It's, I always don't think it is. It's hard to tell from this distance. Asking whether blown glass or plate glass.
Knowing what kind of glass material you have.
Is it wavy?
Yeah.
You should have been there for our conversation a couple weeks ago. That was fun. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, if you can notice certain obvious things about your windows, if it's a single layer of glass, you know, there's odds are pretty good it's an older window. How old, obviously, it's hard to tell, unless you're a trained expert.
Well, I guess that's the question too, is how detailed do you want to be? And
Right.
this is the application, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't, you know, I think, you know, where we do say that, you know, existing, you know, you might have to have a professional, we do say that up above, you know,
Yeah.
preservation professional. It may be necessary, so, I mean, I think, you know, for purposes of the application, how, you know, how in-depth are we gonna ask? Because it's not always the case.
No, I know, I agree, type of window, location of window, and material of window.
Right.
I think that's about as far as I wanna go. I don't think you have to know glass types. I
Yeah.
would say just the obvious, can you see that it's a wood window? Can you see if it's an aluminum
Mhm.
window?
Okay.
That's fine. Maybe not total number of windows in property, I would say total numbers to be replaced. Because why would we want to know if somebody's not replacing windows, if they're going to keep them the way that they are? Does that make sense? Well, you have it, the second part, yeah, so maybe not total number of, maybe just take out the total number of
Yeah.
windows on the property.
Yeah, you're more interested in
Just the ones you want to
those
fix, replace, whatever.
Lights. Remember
That may be captured by the number. of
Survey.
Windows.
Okay.
Yeah, the images with the numbering. right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But I was thinking about that too.
yeah. 6/6,
Yeah,
2/2, yeah.
and actually to that point, number of windows you propose to replace or repair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should the title be window restoration / replacement?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
That's a good idea.
that's an excellent idea.
Rather than just, just not encourage replacement.
Yeah. That is a excellent point.
And then kind of maybe throughout the whole section, reiterate that. So like the first section, color images of the windows proposed to be restored, replaced. So just.
That, I mean, that is a part of the guidance from National Park Service. There are different levels to, you know, the restoration process, you know, repair, restore, I can't remember, if it's renovate, there's 4 Rs. And then, you know, replace is the last.
Yeah, we're just using one word.
Yeah,
We use two Rs.
yeah, the least amount of, touching and then the most.
Okay.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe better with demolition lower down on the list, not part one, demolition. It kind of looks like that's what we're looking for. Oh, you've been demolished.
So go back to the front. Here, scroll back up.
It's a good start.
And
So then,
Yeah.
right, it was just, it's organized in that manner. So you think demolition should be moved
To the bottom.
to the bottom or?
Last resort.
Probably.
Okay, so then that, because, right, so then we'll just, so that would be number the parts then, right?
Sorry,
Yeah.
that's a pain.
All of this is easy to do, it's just better to know now.
Yeah, agreed.
Do it now.
Yeah, yeah. No,
All right,
that's
so
a
you
good
got
point.
that note too.
If there's other subliminal cues we could add, that would be great.
Okay,
And then.
Right now, to our
Anything
notes, it
else?
says, Fix it now, fix it now.
any other comments?
I
Thoughts?
think it is complex, but we deal with lots of stuff, so.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was helpful at the very beginning of the application, you said very specifically, just fill out the sections that you need. So you could theoretically just
Right,
throw out whole sections of the application. I assume when you get to the online portion, you'll wind up checking the boxes. sort of
right, so
as
if
a
you
flow
check
chart.
demolition,
It'll take you to just that section.
yes,
Yeah,
that would be the idea, and that would have to be completed.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then the other ones would not be. It would send a message.
Okay.
Great job.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay,
Hopefully it will lead to folks getting to where we need them first time round, rather than come back, which I remember. Sometimes happens.
so the next item on the agenda is just a quick informational type of piece, 265 Fair Street, that's the Firemen's Museum, Volunteer Firemen's Museum uptown. Ethan has identified some grant monies that are available. It's a city-owned building, but we have a lease agreement with the volunteer firemen to operate their museum out of that. So the building, does fall to our responsibility, technically. They do what they can within their group, but we're looking at the windows on that building. And one of the nice things we think is that if we do a job and we do a restoration of the windows, it kind of sets an example, a good example on how they can be done, and the benefit of doing them. So there's that, and then also, on a site visit the other day, Ethan identified a crack in the back, so we're gonna have the mason who just finished the repair of the front corner that was damaged by another vehicle hitting the building. Or no, the vehicle didn't hit the building, the vehicle hit the wall next to the building, which shoved into our building and cracked our building, so anyway. But, we're gonna ask that mason, at least for an estimate, and depending on how things shake out, look for funding for both of those projects.
What about the roof? They were always having trouble with
The
the roof.
roof was done.
It was done.
The roof was done under a grant a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and as noted earlier in the staff notes, the thought was if the grant money is awarded, using this as sort of like an educational program that could come before the commission, that could be shared wider with the community, similar to when we've had, I think Marissa come talk about the tax credit programs. Could have person doing the window restoration come here and detail that process. for
That'd
us.
be fascinating.
Before we were to move on, or any other questions, I did want to ask, does there need to be a vote on the application those changes?
Yeah, we should, if you can, just,
All right, I move.
motion to approve it as amended, and
Yeah.
we will create the amended document and send it to you.
All right, that makes it simple. I move that we approve the proposal to amend our application form with the additional amendments discussed tonight. Do I have a second?
Second, Robert?
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Robert?
Aye.
Andrea?
Hi.
Kevin?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
I also vote yes.
Great.
Thank you again. And regarding Wilwick, I am
There's no-
trying, I know, but my question would be, since there was damage to the building, does the city's insurance
No.
respond to that at all?
No, because the deductible is too high.
Nice try.
We have an extremely large deductible, but
Now the wall fell, is this the wall at Ulster?
Yeah.
Your insurance
They
being cut?
took, well, our mason we left that in place because we felt that might be holding up part of our wall. So our mason has dismantled that. They took it apart. It's on the old Ulster Savings Bank property. Whether they choose to restore it or not, we're trying to encourage them to just not restore it. They do want to keep the pillar there though, so they can use the gate function, and then we're thinking just a shrub or something, rather than putting a brick wall
I
back.
just wondered if they had any liability since it was their wall that hit our.
No, I mean, it was a truck that hit their, you could see there was damage, so the truck hit their wall and shoved the wall into ours. They weren't attached, so
So we were attacked by Ulster City.
Yes.
Your Honor,
That's the spirit.
it's fixed.
Okay.
So the next item is the National Alliance of Preservation Commissions. This is something we put in our budget for this year, so our membership is, we're putting the membership together. The voucher has gone in for the payment, so there are some benefits. There's some free webinars and things like that, so as things come up and become available, once our membership is finalized, Ethan will probably be sending you out different things. There are some opportunities there. Take a look at their website. And, just another way of promoting and getting you guys some education in different avenues.
Yeah, and in the same sort of sense, item 8 here is just a notice of the New York Statewide Preservation Conference. This year it's going to be in the city of Poughkeepsie, I believe at the Civic Center. On May 6th, which I think is either a Thursday or a Friday, there's going, the National Alliance of Preservation Commissions, which we would likely be a member at that point, will be holding one of their trainings there. It was not really clear which of their trainings it would be, but it sounded like it may be part of the camp program. There apparently will be scholarships for that program. So more information will be probably coming out in the near future. And if anyone's interested, shoot me an email or Sue and I an email, and we'll try to.
Robert, didn't you did a camp, and Andrea, didn't you do one before?
Yeah,
We got
I've
you,
done them in Albany,
you've done
yeah.
them, and then I think you have as well. So, yeah, we've gotten you scholarships before, so it's pretty simple. I
They're
mean,
worthwhile. They're worthwhile. I also wind up
Yeah.
getting AIA credit for it too, so I
Okay.
can't complain.
yeah,
All right. Getting paid to preserve your old house is up next.
Where do we
Yeah.
sign up?
So, recently learned that Marissa, who had been here a few months ago, talking about tax credits, a colleague of hers, Kate Wood, from Germantown, and another colleague from the Preservation League of New York State are going to be hosting a workshop on the tax credit programs at the Rare Center towards the end of this month. So we wanted to share with all of you, just in case anyone wanted to attend. Many of you are familiar with it, but also to further disseminate. We've shared it with our
Sorry.
yeah.
Our communications
Director for distribution as well. But this is something really great to get out because the homeowner tax credit program is likely underutilized in the city of Kingston. We want to try to raise that a little more.
All right. The Rear Center is thrilled to announce completion of its roofing project.
Yeah,
Hooray, hooray. Long-standing issue.
yeah.
And our last bit of new business is this request here tonight that we support facade grants or would we be reenacting?
Yeah, see, I'm not, I just want to find out a little bit about what the mayor has planned, because he does have he is seeking funds for restoration. And I'm not clear if John is asking for more in addition to that or
Well,
over and above.
I think
And-
he fears that facade improvements won't be specifically included. And we're all about facades.
Yeah, I mean, we can certainly draft something up, saying that the funding that's being sought for restorative purposes should also incorporate whole facade improvement.
Yeah.
Whether they're grants, outright grants, or it's done like in the past, what's happened is, they might be a 50-50 or, so it's a matching, so, and they have to be the property owners typically. And usually if you do those types of grants, you have to retain the ownership for a certain period of time after. So you can't make the improvement and then just sell, or you have to pay back a portion of the money.
And sometimes there's a declining percentage of.
Yeah, there's different programs out there.
Yeah, the state likes to use declining percentages.
I know that Ruth Ann has been tasked, Ruth Ann Devitt, Frank, who's the grants director, has been tasked with seeking and looking for funding sources for all of the grants for these projects, so.
Do you recall who did the Main Street? What was the funding source for the Main Street grants that Rob was administering years back? I can't remember I think it was state, I'm not positive.
Main Street grant?
Yeah.
It was state funds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So none of these grants would be subject to the federal clawback or the what they're calling the new federal landscape. I attended 2 webinars on that this week.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
And there is in the landscape, there is a moving train.
But yeah, it is a problem with grant funding, so.
It is.
And we've discussed that also on one of the other boards.
Yeah.
City grants that were federally sourced that may be.
That's why I was specifically
Not there.
thinking of those Main Street grants or something like that.
Yeah, right. So we're all talking state here.
I
Whatever
think
we
so.
can
I
get,
think
there may
so,
be
yeah.
private
I mean,
foundation stuff.
Oh,
as
yeah.
I don't know that there would be federal monies out there at
Right.
this point to
Right.
seek. So I think you'd have to look at state.
You can seek, but Lord only knows what will happen.
Right.
If there will be anybody to even receive. Oh, Department of the Interior, why bother? We
So,
like XQ.
one last thing is that with this new software, you're gonna have to we'll do a training for you. It'll probably be about an hour and a half. It's gonna probably be in maybe a couple weeks' time. We'll be looking to set something up with you guys. So expect an email from me asking you for your calendars. I don't know if you have any significant planned vacation or days that are definitely not going to be good. If you can get those to me immediately
Okay.
for the next month.
The 28th of March through the 2nd of April, I am in Alabama.
Okay, here it is.
First week of May, I may be in Raleigh.
Oh, we'll be before that, yeah.
Yeah.
So till April, what you said?
The 28th of March,
To April what?
the day before our next meeting, the Wednesday, I think it's the 2nd. I
Yeah.
should be there.
Okay, okay. So I'm hoping it's gonna be before that anyway.
Okay.
All right, so,
Will this be in person or is it?
it would be in person. We'd ask that you bring, if you use laptops, we ask that you bring your laptops with you. You'll get, probably the day of, you'll get an email from Unicolab, which is the consultant firm, with a logon. And when you're here, you can log in. We'll also be sending them your cell phones, if that's all right with all of you, because that's how you will get the verification code to log in. Once you've logged in once, you should be good. You don't have to, it won't happen again.
You said, will that work on an iPad? I mean,
Yep,
yeah, it works on.
yeah,
It's all web-based, right? Yeah.
So this will be similar to what you're doing in planning.
yeah, it's the same program, it's just a different,
I'm already familiar
same
with
platform, just different. Yeah.
that. I'm already on for what you're doing in planning.
Okay, good. So you're already logged in?
Yeah, some of this.
Well, you're logged in as
No, I'm not
public.
logged in,
You're-
I'm just public, yeah.
Okay, you're logged in as public, so you will get
Yeah.
logged in, there's different tiers of logging in, so you'll be like a middle tier, so you're
Yeah, I
a new
noticed-
contributor.
One problem that somebody at the CAC did when they were putting the agenda for next week's CAC meeting, they just went into current projects instead of the agenda. And they just said, oh yeah, look at all this stuff that's on the planning board agenda. It's like, no, only a few items are on the agenda. Those are just projects that are kicking around loose.
Right, yeah, because what we did was we brought
Yeah.
forward all of, so we're planning, landmarks, you don't have much that goes month to month.
Right.
There's a few out there, but with planning, we typically have some that go 4 or 5 months, so there's
Sure.
carryovers. So we imported all of those. So,
I did log in too, actually, I think the day that it came out from the Freeman that it was live, so I signed up too, so I looked through it pretty quickly.
yeah,
Nice. And then I tried looking for HLPC stuff, we're not ready yet. But yeah, assume we won't, like, one login will allow you to see multiple platforms, because obviously I'm gonna wind up doing planning board applications.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have to have like one for
Yeah, you'll-
HLPC and one for
it's an
planning board.
interesting question because you will have access under HLPC at a contributor level, but as, you'll only have contributor status under the planning for projects you're involved with.
Right, yeah, because
Otherwise, you'll just be public, yeah,
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 okay. I'll let all them figure that out.
yeah, that's an interesting, okay, I have to think about that one, I didn't think about that before.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
a weird unicorn.
Yeah, because I actually went to somebody else's computer to see how they saw it, because I
Yeah.
can't see it in public.
Right.
And I wanted to see what the public was seeing,
Right.
so I had to log in with somebody else to see what they see,
Yeah,
just to get an understanding of the different levels.
yeah.
One last question on this workshop on March 22nd. Does that count toward our training requirement?
Yeah,
Good. Another reason to go say hi to the folks at the rear center.
Beyond that, we just wanted to confirm your attendance at the April 3rd meeting.
Flying back from Alabama.
particularly you three, because DAR is coming back, and Nettie will be here, so we need the 4 of you to be physically present for a quorum. Coming,
You're not the only one, Robert.
Huh?
We are still live, the meeting hasn't adjourned.
We're still recused.
So that's really why you're asking.
The window preservationists will not be present, but they will have a report for us, right?
Yes.
The report is for.
So you had your walk through
Walk by.
walk by.
Walk by.
Yes.
I saw you on the sidewalk, yes.
You did?
Yes, I was driving from the bank back to my office. And
I saw you drive.
Aha,
You didn't wave that.
I did not wave, I
Okay,
did not
can we
honk.
adjourn?
Yeah.
I need, somebody needs to make a motion. Thank you.